Hi, thank you for joining me for Bible study. We're just going to keep it short today, but it's a very familiar psalm. We're still doing our ancient landmarks, and this is one that the theme is very familiar within the Hebrew scriptures, but the psalm itself is very familiar even in Western culture, one that you'll hear many people have recited at a funeral or in times of trouble or just as a little comfort on a hard day. Psalm 23. And we'll have a few thoughts about it, but really just want you to listen to it, read it, and think about it. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. But we want to just notice a few things here. One is that familiar theme throughout the Hebrew scriptures of the shepherd and the caring of a shepherd for the sheep, but often transferred to a person who, as a leader, takes care of the people that are in his charge. And ultimately, they're doing that because God is using them to do that for his people. We think of Abel, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Their wives oftentimes were also shepherds. We see where Jacob's sons were shepherds. Moses was a shepherd for Jethro. We come fast forward then to David, the shepherd king, and shepherds were there. They were the first recipients of the good news that the Messiah had been born. And Jesus described himself as being a shepherd for his people. So it's an important theme. And as God does that for his people, it also kind of reminds us that people are somewhat like sheep, right? They're kind of helpless. They need a lot of help. And the more independent a sheep thinks it is, the more prone to danger the sheep is as well. And so notice what the shepherd provides. There's protection, there's provision, there's peace. There's the provision. There's green pastures, there's still waters. He provides. There's a table that is set before, in the presence even of enemies. The cup runs over. These things indicate an abundance that God provides. And gratitude is the beginning of not only a pleasant attitude for others to be around, but it's also good for our health, because God does provide better than we realize he does. God provides protection, where he talks about, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. That the Lord is with us when we go through hard times. He won't leave us nor forsake us. And that rod and that staff indicates the ability to protect. And been kind of pondering on this in the last few months as I've been reading through. It doesn't mean that we'll be completely exempt from pain and suffering, but just that God will get us through, and we will not perish ultimately, but he'll have us to himself. And so there's that protection. And ultimately, it is his presence, for you are with me. And there is a sweetness in that that's indicated in those last two verses, isn't that? Goodness and mercy following me all the days of my life. That dwelling, returning and dwelling in the house of the Lord forever. There's a confidence that comes with that, a peace, if you would. A peace that is in the green pastures, an ability to lie down, to rest, to find comfort, and the still waters, a restoration for our soul. Sometimes that's more important than any physical needs being met, as spiritual needs being met, emotional needs being met. And then notice that he also guides us in the paths of righteousness to show us the way we should go, to lead us in that through his word, right? And the commands and wisdom that he gives, his Holy Spirit who guides. And so the Lord is a good shepherd. And this is one that, for just pondering and thinking on, I hope you do spend some time thinking and pondering on it. It's one that, in a vacation Bible school not too long ago, committed to memory. It's only 6 verses, but it's well worth meditating on it. He will make sure that he'll take care of us. But sometimes we need to remember that it is him that takes care of us. And we'll feel better about our circumstances when we know that it is God who is taking care of us. So just a few thoughts on Psalm 23. You can see why now it is an ancient landmark, one that our fathers, our ancient ancestors have considered a place of comfort and a place of stability for their lives, all of their days. God bless, God keep you. We'll see you next time.